Is the Falcons secondary already on life support? Because a familiar face is returning to Flowery Branch, and it's a move that screams injury concern after Sunday's gut punch. We're talking about a quick turnaround, a veteran cornerback brought back into the fold, and it all points to a ripple effect from the biggest question mark hanging over the defense right now, the health of A.J. Terrell. This isn't just a routine practice squad signing. It's a strategic maneuver that speaks volumes about the immediate challenges facing the Atlanta Falcons, and it's got us all holding our breath. The news broke quietly on Tuesday afternoon, but its implications are anything but. The Atlanta Falcons have officially signed veteran cornerback Keith Taylor to their practice squad. Now, if that name sounds familiar, it should. Taylor was actually with the Falcons earlier this offseason, a free agent signing, who went through training camp with the team before ultimately being released at the final 53-man roster cut down. His return, in this specific moment, feels less like a reunion and more like an urgent response to a developing situation that could significantly impact the team's defensive prowess in the coming weeks. Let's rewind to Sunday's game against the Minnesota Vikings. The atmosphere was electric, the stakes were high, and then a collective gasp from the Falcons' faithful. Star cornerback A.J. Terrell, the cornerstone of the secondary, was forced to leave the game with a hamstring injury. He never returned. The sight of him heading to the sidelines, the uncertainty in his gait, immediately sent a shiver down the spine of every fan. Terrell isn't just a player. He's a player in that defensive backfield. His ability to lock down opposing receivers, his instincts, his tackling. They're all irreplaceable components of Raheem Morris's defensive scheme. When a player of his caliber goes down, especially with a soft tissue injury like a hamstring, the alarm bells start ringing. Hamstrings can be notoriously tricky, often leading to multi-week absences, and that's a scenario the Falcons simply cannot afford, not with competitive landscape of the NFC South. Head coach Raheem Morris, ever the stoic, offered little in the way of updates on Monday, stating only that he'd know more once practices commence this week. That lack of immediate clarity, combined with the swift action of bringing Taylor back, paints a picture of genuine concern within the organization. So, who is Keith Taylor, and what does he bring to the table in this critical juncture? At 26 years old, Taylor isn't a rookie. He's a seasoned NFL veteran with 3 seasons under his belt. He was originally a 5th-round draft pick by the Carolina Panthers in 2021, a testament to his potential coming out of the University of Washington. During his time in the league, he's participated in 45 games, starting 5 of them, which shows he's capable of stepping into a more prominent role when called upon. His career stats include 72 tackles, 58 of them solo, along with forced fumble and 6 passes defended. These aren't eye-popping numbers, but they speak to a player who can contribute, who understands the demand of the NFL game, and who has experience covering some of the league's top receivers. Perhaps most notably, Taylor spent last season playing in 11 games for the Kansas City Chiefs. That experience, even if it was primarily in a rotational or special teams role, means he's been part of a winning culture, a team that knows how to prepare and execute at the highest level. That kind of exposure to a Super Bowl caliber organization can instill valuable lessons in discipline, professionalism, and understanding complex defensive schemes. The why now of this signing is undeniably tied to A.J. Terrell's injury. While the Falcons have other cornerbacks on the roster, such as Clark Phillips III and D. Alford, who have shown flashes of potential, the depth behind Terrell, and Mike Hughes suddenly looks a lot thinner if Terrell is sidelined for any significant period. Practice squad signings are often about providing immediate insurance, a readily available player who could be elevated to the active roster if injuries or other circumstances create a sudden need. Taylor's familiarity with the Falcons system, having been with them through training camp, makes him an ideal candidate for this role. He won't need to learn the playbook from scratch. He already has a foundational understanding of the terminology, the calls, and the expectations. This allows for a much quicker integration should he be needed to suit up on game day. The move suggests that the team is not waiting around for definitive news on Terrell. They are being proactive, shoring up their depth in anticipation of a potentially challenging situation. It's a pragmatic, low-risk move, but one that underscores the very real anxiety surrounding the health of their star defender. What does this mean for the Falcons' secondary moving forward? If Terrell misses time, even just a game or two. It creates a significant void that will require a collective effort to fill. Mike Hughes, who has also battled injuries, would likely be elevated to the top outside corner role, and players like Phillips and Alford would see increased snaps. Taylor's presence on the practice squad provides a safety net, a veteran option who could be activated if the situation becomes dire or if other injuries occur. It allows the coaching staff to breathe a small sigh of relief, knowing they have another experienced body ready to go. However, it also highlights the precarious nature of NFL rosters. One injury to a key player can expose vulnerabilities and force teams to scramble for solutions. The hope, of course, is that Terrell's injury is minor and that Taylor's return is purely a precautionary measure. But the reality is that the Falcons are preparing for a scenario where their elite cornerback might be unavailable, and that's a tough pill to swallow for a team with playoff aspirations. The coming days of practice will be crucial, not only for Terrell's recovery, but also for how the rest of the secondary prepares to potentially step up in his absence. So, while the signing of Keith Taylor to the practice squad might seem like a minor transaction on the surface, it's a move loaded with significance for the Atlanta Falcons. It's a direct response to the uncertainty surrounding A.J. Terrell's hamstring injury, a proactive step to bolster depth in a critical position. Taylor brings veteran experience and familiarity with the team system, making him a valuable insurance policy. But ultimately, this move underscores the fragility of an NFL season and the immediate challenge facing the Falcons' defense. We'll be watching closely for updates on Terrell and to see how this defensive backfield adapts in the face of adversity. What are your thoughts on this move? Are you worried about A.J. Terrell's injury, or do you think this is just smart roster management? Let us know your take in the comments below. And if you want to stay on top of all the latest Falcons news and analysis, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We'll keep you informed every step of the way.